Catch, Part 42, a Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction. If you have not heard the previous 41 parts of this story, you can find a link to them in the description box below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and comment down below in support of more fanfiction. Chloé stared out the backseat window as the driver winded her way through the streets of Paris. Marinette was sitting next to her and playing with her cell phone, obviously unsure of what to be doing with herself. What had happened to her? What happened to the self-confident Marinette that she spent years competing with? The girl in front of her wasn't rival material. She was just a shell of a person with a hairstyle that was borderline traumatic. Had she tried to go blonde? The dye looked recent, like she had done it herself in the last day or so. "Excuse me," she said, breaking the silence. "Could you take us to the salon?" Marinette was obviously confused and thought the request was for her, but 2 blocks later, the driver had stopped the car in front of Chloé's favorite salon. "This," Marinette began, "is for you. Forget secret identities. I'm more disappointed in the rat's nest weaved into your skull than I am at you abandoning your superhero duties for the last few years." If she were still the high school Marinette Chloé knew, she would have chuckled and rolled her eyes at the remark. But she did nothing but look down in disappointment. What had happened to this girl? "Come on," Chloé sighed. "There's nothing like a spa day to perk a woman up. Let's get you out of this rut." "Who said I'm in a rut?" Marinette quipped, frowning and making eye contact for the first time in an hour. "There you are." "What?" "The snarky tone. That's the Marinette Dupang I know." It was evident that her words stunned the retired superhero, but the moment of silence between them was more intimate than anything they had experienced as their civilian selves with each other. Within minutes, Marinette was in a salon chair with a stranger's fingers lathering her hair with shampoo and engulfing her in a smell only found in salons. There's something relaxing about paying a stranger to run her fingers through her hair, as though money really could buy happiness, if only for a little while. "What about you?" Marinette asked, noticing Chloé sitting by herself, tapping away on her cell phone. "Me? Oh, Jean-Claude isn't here today, and I refuse to let anyone touch my hair. No one can work magic like he can." "Okay," she giggled, causing Chloé to blush in embarrassment. Marinette was one of the few people left who remembered how much she used to brag about who she knew and what they would do for her once Daddy paid them. "So," Chloé began, "what do you want?" "What do you mean?" "Do you want to go back to your old hair color or try something else?" "Something else?" "You tried to dye your hair blonde, didn't you? You need toner to go all the way." "Oh. It was obvious, from Marinette's reaction, that she had no idea what Chloé was talking about. "It's a shame," she continued. "Dark hair looks nice on you, but you've had longer hair since, forever. How about a trim after dyeing it back?" She shifted uncomfortably as the hairdresser rinsed her hair. "How about just above my shoulders? Like a bob? The hairdresser cut in. That could be cute, Chloe added. Not quite, Marinette said. Like, maybe a shag haircut? Oh, don't be stupid, Chloe sighed. Just when I was starting to trust you. Marinette, a shag haircut would look ridiculous on you. Utterly ridiculous. She clicked her tongue as her former idol blinked in surprise. I guess I'll just do the dye then. Whatever, Marinette. I'll see you in an hour. Chloe walked out and left the insecure girl to the employees. Forget concerning. The current Marinette was downright disappointing and frustrating to boot. More than that, she had given Chloe an extra load of work to deal with. It'll have to be me, she said to herself. Who else could do it but her? And maybe Cat Noir. It was time to get the girl's confidence back. Although Chloe hated the cliché behind it, she knew exactly what to do. To the Dupang Chang Bakery, please, she said to her driver, sliding into the back seat. On the corner by the school? Yes, that's the one. 2 minutes later, she flung open the door to the bakery, disturbing the peace with the clattering of the doorbell. Welcome in, Mrs. Chang began. I'm going upstairs to your daughter's room, Chloe cut in, gesturing the way for her driver to follow her. I'm sorry? I'm buying your daughter an apartment and throwing out her wardrobe. I don't have time to explain. Is she still in the attic space? Yes. Does she know about this? She'll have to find out the hard way. Then I can't condone you doing this. Listen, lady, Chloe said, clicking her tongue. Do you want your daughter's confidence back or not? She felt bad for snapping at her, but she didn't have time to be nice. Silence enveloped the room until the woman sighed and gestured to the stairs in the back. As you were, she muttered. Thank you, Chloe whispered, no longer able to make eye contact. Hopefully Marinette would never find out about what just happened. Let's go. Marinette's room hadn't changed much since the last time Chloe was in it. When was that? High school? Pink decorated everything, and she could see the abandoned box of hair dye on the floor by the vanity. Platinum blonde. Ugh, no wonder she ended up with orange hair. She gestured to the driver, who immediately began throwing the litter scattered across the room into the trash bin as Chloe threw open the doors to Marinette's wardrobe. It was evident from a glance that the girl traded between a few set outfits and didn't touch anything else in the closet. Clothes that she recognized from their high school days dripped themselves over the hangers, as though they were ashamed to see the light of day. Oh, Marinette, Chloe muttered. How did you let yourself get to this point? She turned around and saw the driver with a bag full of trash. Wasn't it empty just a few moments ago? I'll take this downstairs, her driver said, excusing herself. Hurry back, Chloe said, turning back to the wardrobe and grabbing out a blouse. This all needs to go. she sighed. Pulling out her phone, she tapped in an all too familiar number and waited for the boy on the other end to pick up. "Hey," she said, swallowing the butterflies in her stomach when he answered. "I know it's been years since we last talked, and I owe you an apology, but I need a favor. Would you help me?" She waited as the silence from the other end flooded her eardrum. After an anxiety-filled moment, she heard his response. He was on his way. He was on his way, all because of Marinette. Who knew that her high school rival would be the reason for her to get back in contact with him? The artistic boy who always tried a little too hard and was always designing when he thought no one was looking. Granted, he wasn't the charming boy Chloé had a long-standing crush on, but perhaps she could use this as a chance to get closer to the boy she had her eye on. Maybe the last few years would have gone differently if she hadn't skipped the art class she took her senior year with Adrian. Nonetheless, she was excited to see him, even if she'd never date him. Thank you so much for listening. Part 43 will be available shortly. In the meantime, you can check out these other videos for more fan fiction. I'll catch you next time.